Excessive loss of semen. How much can it affect married life? So, let us begin. So when a young person may rub or stroke his penis for maybe over 200 times and not get tired of it, but still, semen may not ejaculate. But after a person does too much masturbation over the years, in some cases, even with 2 rubs or a stroke, or even a touch, or even some sexual thoughts, semen may ejaculate, better known as premature ejaculation. Such people usually get erection almost instantly, ejaculate instantly, and lose erection almost instantly, literally killing the true sexual pleasure that comes after a prolonged foreplay, intercourse, etc. Some ejaculate immediately, even with no or little erection. So, the cause of this premature ejaculation could directly be linked with the excessive masturbation. This increase, right, when you're constantly feeding your lust, you're constantly sexualizing your mind. You're constantly feeding these thoughts, right? When they tell you that men are visual and women are auditory, meaning men like what they see and women like what they hear. So the sexes do what they can to deceive the other. Men lie, women wear makeup. So in this same essence, men being the visual creature that they are, we have to realize that you have to understand your libido and your lust is very, very strong. So you cannot waste this prior to being with your partner. You don't have to get married, but you should definitely consider saving yourself until you are with your partner. Because this will affect you mentally, spiritually, and definitely physically. Premature ejaculation is not going to be something you're going to want to deal with because you want to enjoy the experience. It's about connecting with someone in a spiritual level, entering the spiritual gateway with one another, man and woman coming together, creating God. This is your time to enter the spiritual gateway, right? So it's essential to understand the premise of this. With that, some may get frequent nightfalls because the penis may become weak and too sensitive. Semen may also become thinner and watery. So stop masturbation to have the better post-marriage life. There are some who don't like to masturbate. The sex life of such person usually should be far richer, with much better sexual pleasure and experiences compared to those who frequently masturbated for many years before marriage. So, like we said in previous videos as well. So, before we start, thank you guys for all the feedback we've been receiving on these videos. Guys have been commenting, sharing, etc. Thank you guys so much. We are trying to build a community of thought forms. These thought forms are touching a lot of people, and it's like planting a seed. We are planting a seed in many minds, and it's fertilizing to help create a new wave of people that are empowered by semen retention, empowered by fatherhood, empowered to be better than before. So thank you so much for all the guys that have been not only commenting, sharing, and sharing their comments, but for the people that have been also on the journey as well. You guys definitely know how this goes. So you always want to understand, the thicker the semen, the longer it's matured, the better experience you will have sexually, spiritually, mentally, physically, when you maintain the semen, right? Your best feeling is when you feel rewarded. You're killing your dopamine sensors when you constantly release and you didn't release with a partner. You're telling yourself you completed the task without ever completing the task. This is only feeding your instant gratifying mind to constantly do this over and over again. Therefore, to be a better lover and to not be selfish, it's essential you wait for your partner, because this is a special moment, coming together of man and woman, and this shouldn't be interrupted with your selfish desire to just release pointlessly, right? We have to understand how crucial and powerful this energy is. Having this, many men get scared thinking what will happen after marriage. With instant ejaculation, thinner semen, can't keep penis erect for long, and maybe the penis tilt a lot in either direction due to weakness in penis. When young and full of long stored and long generated semen, the energy level of both mind and body is high, but with a lot of masturbation and aging, a person realizes later only to then unnecessarily suffer. So, a lot of these problems that men face before marriage, erectile dysfunction, not being able to get intimate with their partner at a young age, the loss of their seminal energy, etc. All these things are stemming from previous actions, such as constant ejaculation, losing this special video. When you know how to control the mind, breath, and the video, things become very easy. You will be full of energy, vigor, and life in all regards. And it won't be difficult for you to have a good marriage, right? So it's essential that you understand there is risks that come with this, right? With the use of constant ejaculation, this acts as a death within the spiritual, astral, and the physical body. For something to come to life, this something has to die. That's the only thing we have to understand, that energy is a transfer, right? If it's going to be transferred, it has to leave you. And if it's another life, then something has to die in the process. We compare this same process to when a tree drops its autumn crimson leaves to resemble blood, that the tree is bleeding, right? It's bleeding so that the tree can grow new leaves filled with chlorophyll, so it can live another year. It's this beautiful amalgamation of life and death. It's really important you understand. This is not just about the body. It's about mind, body, and spirit. Some married women go to the restroom and masturbate as they are not happy with husband's lack of sexual drive and erectile problems. Some women may go to other men to satisfy, with or without the husband's knowledge. So, yes, this is a pretty common thing. I'm sure many of you guys know this. Cheating will happen if you are not intimate with your partner physically and emotionally. If you are not connected physically and emotionally, then things will stray, right? They will look outwards. Especially with women, they want a solid foundation. So if you are not the solid rock foundation for her, they will look elsewhere. So it's essential to build this vigor up so that you can give yourself to this one woman for a long time, a very, very long time. You will only need one when you're retaining, right? Because when you have one, you're going to just want to be with that one and tell her that retaining is good. So we can do this when we want to have kids, but we still want to make sure we're retaining, because you can accomplish such great things. Think of when Steve Jobs was with his wife. He told her that sex was only for basically reproduction, and that he has to use his sexual energy for creativity. And think about the stuff you're using right now. That Apple phone that you're watching TikTok off of was off this man's semen retention, right? It was off his great genius. And everything that comes into this cosmos is not of any man's doing. It's from the universal mind from which it comes from. Everything comes from the universal mind. And the universal mind gifts men knowledge when they're spiritually intertwined. While some only suffer consciously or unawarely as their sexual life gets unhappy, before marriage, women usually masturbate much less than men. Many women never masturbate in their bachelor life. Post-marriage, when wife comes to know of their husband's habit of masturbation during his bachelor life, he may feel regretful. So, it's essential to understand that as a man, you should not be wasting your energy, right? Now, like I said in a previous video, when women masturbate, they don't lose energy. It's not an energy loss. Their own energy loss is during their cycle, when their egg is not being fertilized and that egg is now bleeding, right? But when a man bleeds, he gives out his best blood. Whenever you ejaculate, this is your blood, but it's not red. It's not red in color. It's about 40 to 80 drops of your best best bloody nutrients. It comes from different areas of the body. It's not just coming from the testes and the epididymis mixed in with prosthetic juice. It's pulling from all parts of the body. That's why many men feel brain fog. They lose things that they strongly remembered. They lose many mental focuses. They lose a lot during this process. You have to frame yourself as the prize because you are the prize. You're the one that loses something in this process. If you do not frame it any other way, you will not have a successful time as a pickup artist, a successful time as a man in a good marriage, dominant polarity. You have to maintain this frame that you are the prize and you are the one giving life, because that is the essence of what is happening. A regular masturbator needs to introspect and ask himself as to why he masturbates so much, specifically as it will keep him weakening and weakening him over and over. A man should not let himself and his wife suffer in their sex life. The sex is a very, very intimate, passionate thing of man and woman coming together. Your addictions will affect your sex life, and your sex life with your wife will affect you emotionally and her emotionally as well. She will feel that she is not attractive. She will seek validation outside. You may see that yourself is inferior. You may start doing things that you will look like you're attention hungry, and you will start doing things that seem erotic, things that seem neurotic, things that are out of your character. And these things are what end up breaking marriages, right? Not just the loss of the sex, but the things that stem off of it, right? The attitudes that stem off of it, the things that are stemming off the weakness that you receive off losing this seminal energy. When you have this seminal energy, you are like a bull. You are a bull. Nothing can stop you. You are a bull, a tiger, a lion, a boar, ready to go at anything you put in that life puts in front of you. But when you're constantly weakening yourself, you don't have any memory. You don't have any of your good nutrients. You just feel so you feel alive, but you're barely breathing. It's kind of like that. Just imagine if a person doesn't masturbate and is full of vigor, strength, and semen, then how enjoyable his post-marriage sex life will be for him and his wife. The sexual experiences will be so good, long-lasting, and for years for both of them as a married couple. The overall life will be also much, much more healthier. You should wait. The main premise is you should wait. And for the people, or you should at least wait for a partner you want to be with, right? Don't let your lust drive you. You are the driver. Remember this, guys. If you need to watch the video on the triune brain, please click on that video if you need more insight on how the human psyche works. A lot of people are stuck on the 4 F's of life: feasting, fucking, or fight, or flight. These are the 4 F's of life, and this is the most lowest sphere of the brain. This is the animalistic brain, the reptilian brain, the smallest crocodile brain. This is exactly how a crocodile thinks. Sex, food, fight or flight. Just fight. For the crocodile, it's just probably fight. So as a human, we are much more evolved. We have 3 brains: reptilian, the horse-like brain, the limbic system, the neocortex, the supercomputer. We have the ability to differentiate, use our emotions, our ability to love. Everything that's created in this cosmos was out of love. A man's love for a woman, or a woman's love for him. Everything was built off love. A lot of things were built off love. The Taj Mahal was built off love. Wars are built to defend peace. And peace creates wars. The selfish need to preserve peace also creates wars, and so on and so forth if we look at that Marital quote. So it's essential to understand how enjoyable your post-sex life will be when you're married, because you saved your vigor and stamina up. And this will be a very spiritual process between you and whoever you're with. Exactly how God intended it to be. Don't destroy or lower The life's long-lasting happiness with short-lasting masturbations, for they are only just short, temporary pleasure. Those sperms may also always be there, and a person may still have the ability to father some children, with or without medical help, but many other things, physical and mental strengths, good sex life, etc., can gradually go away. So, while you may able to still have children, like many people that are constantly ejaculating, you may still be able to have a child. Maybe you may still be able to have two. You still have plenty of time, right? You keep thinking about what's happening in the physical. And that's a problem with a lot of guys that come on here, or that, they have questions in regard to semen retention. It's always something about the physical. Physical. What physical benefits will I have? What will happen on the outside? Will girls seem more attractive? What is going to happen on the outside? And I always tell them, yeah, the outside's great. The malcool things that you receive in the physical are great. But the rewards you receive in the planes that are higher, in the astral, the spiritual, the etheric planes, are much greater, right? When you allow the semen to swim throughout your whole body, this orgasm that you will feel within the third eye is much, much better than any release you will ever feel, right? And that's why I keep telling you guys haven't experienced anything in the astral yet. And this is not to say that I'm better than anyone, or this is not to say that we're any different, right? The difference between the awakened man and the unawakened man is the unawakened man is not aware. He's not awake yet. That's it. He is not awake yet. That is the only difference between the awakened man and the unawakened. He is not awake yet. But once he is awakened, he realizes we are all one. But the cycle of instant gratification is something we see in Western society today. Everything is built off the cycle of instant gratification. Dating, food, you name it. Everything is instantly gratified. So when society is built this way, it is numbing men. Think about what happened during 2019 when COVID hit. The end of the Chinese cycle, the year of the pig, and this cycle hit, and all these guys are cooped up in their house for so long. And then you see the degeneracy that's posted online. And people are only a byproduct of their environment. So there's only so much we can blame the person on when we could say that we have to change the environment for the greater good. Because this instant gratifying society is only tormenting men. It's only tormenting them from their long-term goals, from their ability to spiritually connect with the Creator. With that being said, guys, this has been excessive loss of semen. How much can it affect married life? Feel free to like the video.